My father was a workaholic. He was a very practical individual. He was very traditional. He always liked to carry things on, whether it was with me, whether it was with my daughter. Always wanted to hand things down. He was an instigator. He was always playing games. He was always challenging me. He was always testing me. He loved to do that. He liked to get a reaction out of people, especially in business.
Growing up, my grandfather had me on his payroll, so I, was helping him reading the paper and going through stock reports and things of that nature. And one time he paid me $20. So, as a kid, took the $20 and put it on the counter, and shortly thereafter, went to find the $20 and it was gone. And, I made a little bit of a stink to my mom about it, saying, did she take it? Where did it go? Turns out he took it, and, he ended up giving it back to me, but he basically said, you have to watch your money. You just can't, leave things lying around, and, you earned it, but it can be taken away that quickly.
He was a teenager in his early 20s when he started working. So unfortunately, when he was 25, his father had passed away very suddenly, and it was up to him to carry on the business. He also had 4 sisters and a mother to take care of. And it was a franchise, a Chevrolet franchise that was on Admiral Wilson Boulevard in Camden. So he had to go to Detroit to convince the corporate executives that a 25-year-old could manage the new franchise that he had. And luckily he was able to, at some point, to convince them. And later on, they realized that it was a great investment for them because Rohrer Chevrolet became the largest dealership on the East Coast.
When People's Bank got established, the banks were very staid and conservative in those days, and people came to the bank because they almost out of desperation. But Bill established the bank with an entire different approach. That he wanted to bring the bank to the people. He was the first person to open the bank on Saturdays and drive-ins, even on Sunday. When people came in to open accounts, he would give them a toaster or beach towels or whatever was popular at that moment of time. And that was such a difference from the old established banks. And that was something that well before its time and has become now a standard in the banks all over.
Bill would sit in his bank in the lobby where people could see him. He was hidden away like most executives, and he would talk to everybody who walked in. And he had time for everybody. Bill was a type of person that worked all the time, and there was no vacations or anything like that, except when the regulators forced him to take 2 weeks off from the bank, he had to step out and sit and conduct business out on the steps, literally.
Growing up with my grandfather, he wasn't a traditional mentor. He was one of those people that took everyday life challenges and really helped you learn from them. So there was mentoring going on, and it was talking about what was happening in the world and what his thoughts were on it, and it was really opening up my eyes to what other opportunities there were out there. I think he was a very big believer that status quo isn't acceptable and you always have to look to be better.
My father taught me that philanthropy is important so that you are giving back to the community. He believed in giving back to help people that helped make him succeed. As a trustee, making the gift to Rowan University was one of the toughest decisions I had to make. But having received my teaching certificate from Glassboro State College at the time, I was somewhat familiar with the university, so that helps my knowledge. This gift would have 4 basic successful ingredients. One was my father's love of education, helping the youth of today. Rowan University, that is, I look at it as the University of South Jersey that can help so many people. And probably most importantly is that this endowment would be an investment and we would receive a great return on our money for the amount of people that we would help.
I actually started at Rowan as a biology major, and I had a little bit of an experience as an entrepreneur outside of the school environment. I was 17 years old and I owned my own business. I was also going to school full time, and eventually I stopped going to school to pursue the business. After that, the economy hit, and it was just, I didn't know how to react to different things, how to react to lack of sales. The Rohrer College of Business has given me many different views and perspectives on everything that is entrepreneurship in itself. We've had the Entrepreneurs in Residence and the Rohrer Lecture Series, and everything that the Rohrer Endowment has given us is just a great opportunity that I think everyone should take advantage of.
Strategic Billing Enterprise does medical billing for the emergency medical service industry. I learned about the business incubator by entering into the business plan competition. The incubator provides a facility where, as a small startup company, I can lease and rent small space and then expand as the company grows and expands.
I think it's very appropriate that the Rohrer Foundation is supporting the entrepreneurship program at Rowan University. I think when you examine the history of Mr. Rohrer, you find someone who was very entrepreneurial himself, who went into a wide range of areas and displayed that entrepreneurial spirit that we would like to inculcate in our students. So the fact that we can benefit from the Foundation's help in that area and to spread that spirit, I think, is a very positive thing. To compete with research universities and the level of funding that they have, both from grants and from other donors, you need to get onto the same level there, and the Rohrer Endowment has really helped Rowan move to a new level.
I've had the opportunity to meet several talented individuals. As a result, I've hired an entrepreneurship recent graduate who's actually helping me to expand and grow.
Being an entrepreneur, my grandfather, he was always looking into new avenues and areas to focus, and I would say, don't look at, ending your education just because you have a diploma in your hand. It's continuing on, what you learn from that and applying it to your everyday life.
Bill Rohrer was a banker, a businessman, public official, and a humanitarian. There aren't many people that can say that about a person.
I can tell you that we have been very satisfied with how Rowan has utilized the funds that we've given to them. We all think that he'd be proud of what we have done.
The best way that the students can honor my father's legacy is continually strive to be the very best they could possibly be. They should never give up, and they should always try and reach for that golden ring. And last and most importantly, they should always want to give back to the community as he did so much during his lifetime.